The 49ers are going up against the Bills on Sunday night, and everyone's wondering if Brock Purdy will be back from his shoulder soreness to lead the offense. What do you think about his potential impact?
Purdy's presence definitely changes things. Brandon Allen managed okay against Green Bay last week, but the offense just wasn't the same without Purdy. If he's healthy, how well do you think he can play against a tough Bills defense?
Yeah.
Especially with the weather expected to be a challenge.
That's the big question. We know Purdy has put up some good numbers this season, over 2,600 passing yards, 13 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. But how much will the cold, the wind, and maybe even snow affect his game?
The weather might let the 49ers change their offense. They could rely a lot on the running game and use short passes because of the wind. Do you think their running backs and George Kittle can handle a bigger workload?
The 49ers do have good running backs, and Kittle is a playmaker. But the Bills have one of the best defenses in the league. They've allowed the fewest points per game, and they're great at defending the pass. The 49ers really need this win to stay in the playoff race at 5-6. How do you see this defensive battle playing out?
I think it might come down to which team controls the line of scrimmage. The Bills have a strong pass rush, and the 49ers offensive line has been up and down this year. If Purdy's shoulder makes him less mobile, how well do you think they can protect him? Can they give him enough time to make plays? Keeping Purdy safe is going to be really important, especially against a Bills defense that's known for getting to the quarterback. Their defensive line is tough. And if the 49ers offensive line can't hold them back, it could be a long game for Purdy and the whole offense. Do you think Kyle Shanahan will change things up to try to stop the Bills' pass rush, given the problems the 49ers offensive line has had this season?
Shanahan is known for his creative plays, so I'm sure he'll try different things to keep the Bills' defense guessing. He could use misdirection, pre-snap motion, quick passes, things like that to keep Purdy out of trouble. But the Bills also have a good offense with Josh Allen. He can throw the ball and run with it. How worried are you about the 49ers being able to stop Allen, especially if the weather makes it harder for them to run their own offense?
Allen is a special player, and the Bills' offense can score a lot of points quickly. The 49ers' defense will need to be really disciplined and focused to keep him under control. They have to prevent big plays and force him to make mistakes. Do you think the 49ers defense, which has been their strength this year, can step up and keep Allen in check?
The 49ers defense has been good, but this is their biggest challenge yet. They'll have to play their best to slow down Allen and the Bills' offense. The weather could also be a factor. How do you think the cold and the possible wind and snow will affect both teams?
The weather might change how both teams approach the game. It might make them play more conservatively, focusing on running the ball and short passes. The team that adapts best to the conditions could have a real advantage. Special teams are often forgotten, but they could be crucial in a game like this, especially if points are hard to come by. Do you think special teams will play a big role in who wins?
Absolutely. Special teams could be a big factor. The Bills have a good kicker in Tyler Bass and a dangerous returner in Nyheim Hines. The 49ers coverage units will have to be on point to prevent big plays that could change the momentum. Speaking of momentum, the Bills have really passionate fans, and playing in Buffalo can be tough for visiting teams. How much of an impact do you think the crowd noise and the home field advantage will have on this game?
The Bills Mafia is known for being loud, and the noise can definitely affect players, especially a young quarterback like Purdy coming back from an injury. But the 49ers are a veteran team with playoff experience. They've played in big games before. What intangible factors do you think will decide this game, considering the potential impact of the crowd and the 49ers experience?
This game will probably come down to a few things. Which team can handle the pressure better and avoid making big mistakes? Which team can run the ball consistently to control the clock and protect their quarterback? And in the end, which quarterback can make the plays when it matters most? What are your final thoughts going into this Sunday night game?
This game is interesting because of the different styles of play and how much is at stake. You have the 49ers with their running game and tough defense, going up against the Bills known for their passing attack and their ability to take advantage of mistakes. Both teams are fighting for a playoff spot, and a win would be huge for either side. With so much on the line, what parts of this game are you most interested to see played out?
I'm really interested to see how Purdy handles being back from injury in such a tough environment. Can he shake off the rust and make the big throws when the 49ers need him to?
That's the big question about Purdy. If he can play like he did before his injury, the 49ers have a real shot at winning this game. But the Bills will be looking for any sign of weakness from him. How do you think the Bills will change their defense if they see Purdy struggling?
I think they'll try to confuse Purdy with different coverages and blitzes. They'll want to make him uncomfortable and throw off the timing of the 49ers passing game. If the Bills are controlling the pace on defense, can the 49ers run the ball enough to slow them down? And can they keep the Bills' offense off the field?
That's going to be so important for the 49ers. If they can get the running game going early, it will give Purdy more options with play-action passes, and it will help them control the pace of the game. But the Bills have a really strong run defense, so it won't be easy for the 49ers to do that. Do you think this will be a low-scoring defensive game, or could we see some offensive fireworks even with the weather?
I think it could be a low-scoring game, especially with the weather, maybe limiting both passing attacks. But both teams have players who can make big plays, so just a couple of those could change everything. Do you have a prediction for how the game will go and who will win?
I think it's going to be a close game with both defenses making big plays. I think the 49ers, even though they're the underdogs, have the toughness and the coaching to win this game. I'm predicting a 20-17 victory for the 49ers with their defense making the key stops and Purdy doing just enough to manage the game and make a few clutch throws. What do you think will happen, and what's your score prediction?
I agree that it's going to be a tight game, but I think the Bills' experience and playing at home will be the difference. I'm predicting a 23-20 win for the Bills, with Josh Allen making enough plays late to get the win.
It's definitely going to be an exciting game to watch with a lot at stake for both teams. We'll see which team can execute their game plan better and make the big plays when they count.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.
Goodbye, and see you in the next video.